Morning, everybody. Happy Monday. We had a cold front go through anything from late yesterday to early this morning. Now, on the back side of that, we've got some really nice dry air coming in, but we're kind of in between some lower clouds that have made it all the way down here to about Springfield, and then, of course, the storms that are developing in Oklahoma. Much of that activity will move to our south, but that northwest Arkansas area may get a few showers or storms this morning. That's going to be about it, and really should be a very pleasant day, probably the pick day for lawn work or picking up limbs from last week or whatever. Temperatures starting relatively nice this morning and below average numbers expected. In fact, those 70s up here in our northern counties here, that actually could be correct depending on how quick the clouds break up. And I'd bump us from, let's say, Springfield south. Let's add a couple degrees to that, but still, well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be nice with lower humidity and a breeze. Low temps tonight, potential to be cooler than we've seen in about 2 weeks. So a nice start tomorrow. Now remember that drier air coming in from the northwest is swirling around low pressure that's up here to the north. And that could create some significant severe weather really across much of the eastern seaboard area. They've got a level 3 risk there today. Now that drier air will actually deepen somewhat today, but we're looking at overall moisture at the surface level. It's going to feel really nice, but the moisture doesn't go very far south, and by late Tuesday, remember that phrase, low-level jet? That's really going to crank Tuesday night, and it looks to me like we're in kind of the bullseye for some thunderstorms to form out in Kansas and roll in here early Wednesday. Now, depending on when those clear out, we could see some redevelopment later in the day. So the unstable air well east of us today, and then for Tuesday, down near that stalled front, it will build significantly, and that will be lifted over that front by Tuesday night. So that's why we have the risk for, I think, some heavy rain early Wednesday. And then late Wednesday, we're right in the middle of a broad level 2 risk for severe weather. So we've made Wednesday a first alert day as a heads up. I think storms in the morning and potentially again late. And, well, relatively generous rain potential here for the next 7 days. This would be up there in that inch to, say, 2.5-inch category. And certainly there could be localized higher amounts. Here's the other good part. It doesn't get that hot this week. An average is 90. We'll probably be below that for much of the week, slightly hotter toward the weekend.